if we don't want to color grade our footage and we film and we want to use straight to camera what we get? Which camera could do better? If I had to choose whether to shoot using the ZV-E1 or the Canon R8, what's up guys, Dan Frullani here and welcome back to a new video. Today it's about two cameras, two of my favorite cameras. One, the Canon R8. Here I have it, which I bought last year. I used it a lot. I like it a lot, especially when I shoot in C-Log because of the colors it can produce and the flexibility. And the other camera that would be compared for some aspects to this one, this Canon R8, is the Sony ZV-E1, which is filming right now with a 16 to 35mm lens, and right now filming in S-Log 3. Okay, I start by saying that I bought the Sony ZV-E1 months ago or something like that, and I'm impressed. I knew I was going to get some good performance for what concerns dynamic range, low light conditions and so on, because of the sensor, which is the same that we find in the A7S III and the FX3, for example. The FX3 is a kind of a cinema camera, by the way. I'm really impressed. But why am I comparing the Sony ZV-E1 to the Canon R8 if I believe that the ZV-E1 is better in every aspect? Is because I thought, what if we don't want to color grade our footage and we film and we want to use straight to camera what we get? Which camera could do better? That means that for this video I'll be obliged to use the Canon R8 in shooting mode, filming mode, using one of the default picture styles, and the same for the Sony ZV-E1. But what's the difference? I already noticed, even though I haven't made a comparison yet, that when we film with the Sony ZV-E1, when we use default picture styles, I think the image we get is better. Is definitely better than using a Canon with one of the default picture styles. So that's why I decided to make this comparison. I'm doing this test, or I'm just showing you samples here, indoors in a controlled environment with my lights, because outdoors I'm already almost 100% sure that the ZV-E1 would destroy the R6 using default picture styles. Because of the dynamic range of both cameras, because in Sony's default picture styles we don't lose much dynamic range. Yes, we go from 14 or 15 stops of dynamic range down to 11 or something, but with Canon what we lose is much more, I believe, compared to when we shoot in C-Log 3. Okay, so let's see. This is the Canon R8 with one of its default picture styles, the standard. So what do you think about it? Leave a comment down below, hit the like button and subscribe if you ain't already. And check the links in the description to see all my gear stuff and things, my gear. And now we see the Sony ZV-E1 with one of its default picture styles, the Cinetone. Alright, again, what do you think about it? Hit the like button right now and subscribe if you ain't already. Honestly, even though I can see that what we get from the Sony ZV-E1 in Cinetone looks better to me than what we get from the Canon R8 in the standard picture style. But honestly, I was expecting some bigger difference. What are my conclusions? Well, if I had to choose whether to shoot using the ZV-E1 or the Canon R8 with lights that I can control indoors, I would definitely go with the Sony ZV-E1 anyway, because even though there isn't much difference in quality and the way it looks, you know, it depends what you like. It depends on what you prefer, like personal taste also. But if for some reason I would like to modify the colors a little bit with the Sony ZV-E1, I could, even when using Cinetone or any of the default picture style. And this is not true for what concerns Canon default picture styles. With Canon picture styles, from the Canon R8 in this case, but in general, what you get straight out of camera is what you get, and that's it. If you try to modify the colors or bring down the highlights or bring up the shadows, you might just mess up the footage. So in the end, it all comes down to what you prefer. If when you shoot using default picture styles on your Canon R8 indoors is fine with you, you're okay with the product you get, well then just use it. If you're not 100% convinced, if you don't really like what you get, you should just use C-Log 3 and color grade it, and that'd be a better solution for you. For the Sony ZV-E1, we can definitely save time using default picture style like Cinetone in this case. And if we are not really happy with it, we have some room to color grade it and make it better. Even to bring down the highlights a bit. Of course, if the highlights are blown out, there is no way to recover them. And same thing for the shadows. We don't lose everything. We can recover the shadows a little bit without getting too much digital noise in the shot. I think that's it for today. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, smash the like button, subscribe if you ain't already, and I'll see you guys the next video. Oh yeah!